Now then, welcome back to the George Scaife channel on this, I've got to say, nice day. It's a nice Tuesday morning, and today we're going through the 6 players I think Liverpool need to sell in the transfer window. We seem to have adopted a very expensive spending habit of late. Wirtz 130 million, Frimpong 30, maybe Kirkus 40. We need to recuperate, for me, at least 150 million pounds, and that is an accumulation of these 6 players I'm going to give you now. Let me know down below in the comments which players you agree with selling, which players you're thinking, George, hold on, why are you selling him? He's a good asset for the team. And later on, there are a few controversial ones, I've got to say, which maybe don't align with your opinion. We'll start back to front, I think. I'm getting a few stares here, but I don't care, because I want to talk about Kelleher. Kelleher to Brentford's happened already. It's not something I think should happen. It's already done. 12.5 million, I think. It's an understatement of... It doesn't reflect how good he is, I'll say that. I think we could have got at least 20 million pounds for Kelleher. And I know it could rise to 18.5 with add-ons, but I think Brentford have come out of this deal the best. I mean, 12.5 million for a definite first-choice worthy goalkeeper. He was no good sitting on our bench. He was too good for that, let alone like being third choice when Mamadashvili comes in. It was the best for both parties that Kelleher was sold. I'm trying to cross the road here and talk about Kelleher. It's not very safe. I don't think my mum would be very happy. So Kelleher's gone third, let's just say 12.5 million and call it that without the additional fees. Then we go to Quansah for me. He's my second player out of the 6. I saw rumours of a valuation of £50 million for Quansah. I mean, if that's true, I'll drive him wherever it is he's going, because he's not worth £50 million. I'd take 30. I think 30 is even that is dreamland a bit, to be honest. So I've given him a valuation of £25 million. And even that to some may seem steep. I told my dad that. I was like, what? Quansah, £25 million? He's crap. Firstly, he's not crap. Quansah is a decent centre-back. People take this way too far. You know, when he has a bad game or he gets unlucky, people go, oh, there's one of them buses that clean roads. This is going to be loud. Unbelievable. He must be a Quansah fan. He's trying to block out the haters. He's trying to silence me. I don't rate Quansah particularly. I certainly don't think he's worth anything over 25 million. But I do think you've got to get that money if it's offered at this point in his career. Yeah, Quansah could be an half-decent third choice. Certainly a good fourth choice. But at the top of the league now, you've got to be building. You've got to be improving your players. And I look at our weaknesses in this squad, and it's maybe left back, maybe right back now Trent's gone, maybe a striker, midfielder, but also a centre back. Like, we cannot go into another season where Konate, Van Dijk, who've both had injury issues. Let's be real, well, maybe Van Dijk less so, but certainly Konate had injury issues. Gomez as well. This guy can't make it through to Tuesday. He can't make it through the week. We need someone else in there who's gonna be fit. He's gonna play the whole season. He's not gonna make mistakes like Quansah does. And let's be frank, like, just because he's a young player, you don't have to hide all these mistakes he makes. Call it what it is. He's had fingerprints over many crime scenes this year. Is that a coincidence? Is he the most unlucky player of all time? Maybe he is, but in my opinion, Quansah has to go for a price of £25 million. And I think, considering he's a homegrown player, one, that means we've got to bring someone else in to replace him and fill out that field on the form, whatever it is. But also it adds a bit more to his valuation, right? Teams will pay a premium to get Quansah for maybe £3 million. I don't know how much extra you pay to get a homegrown player, but Quansah is one. I'd let him go for 25 million. That leaves us about 37.5. Let's go 38 million overall. Let's just say 38 million for the 2 players there, which I think is really good business, by the way. The next position we need to talk about is left back. We'll go in order, and left back's one which, this is just too it's too flocked. This position's too crowded. You can't have 3 left backs in there. We need 2. We've always had 2. Let's get rid of one. And for me, the one that should go is Robertson. It's not Robertson. I'd go Tsimikas. I think Tsimikas offers less in the long term, although he is younger, of course. He's not like particularly young to the point where, oh, he's a young talent and he's going to improve. No, he's not particularly like, he's not a potential future star like on FIFA, right? You know what I mean? I think Robertson offers more in the dressing room. He's obviously got a lot more Premier League minutes in the tank, more experience, captain of Scotland. I just think he offers so much more to this side in the long term. And I know, again, it sounds counterintuitive given that he's like 30 odd. But I really think that's true. I think Robertson is that James Milner figure that we had previously, that Henderson figure that we had previously. He's one of the older players, more senior players in the side. I think it'd be a shame to let him go, albeit he's on more wages. I do think, I mean, admittedly, probably not justified, but they are more justified than I think maybe what Tsimikas is offering to this side. Albeit, I also think a really important point is, these 2 players are not going to be playing. Tsimikas or Robertson, we're not talking about here who's the best fullback, because they're not going to be starting. I think maybe Tsimikas has had a better season than Robertson, although he's not played much. Robertson's made a lot of errors, but it's about who can fill in them cup games, in them Carabao Cup games, who can come on with 20 minutes to go and see out a game. That's the role of an alternative, of a backup left back. And I think Robertson could see out a game better than Tsimikas, albeit the mistakes. I just think 20 minutes to go, I think he's more of an assured head, to be honest. I've got to say, Niamh was more in the dressing room. Robertson stays, Tsimikas goes. I think you'd be looking at 15 million for Tsimikas. Like, do we buy him for around that? I don't think you get any more. I think that's a fair valuation for a player who could definitely start for a middle to back end Premier League side, I think, every single week. So let's just go £15 million for Tsimikas. And I think that's perhaps being harsh, maybe bottom end that, but we'll go £15 million. So what's that, 38 million? 52 million I think we're on so far, there or there around. Let's call it 52 million. The next position is a central midfield player, because obviously right back we're fine, we've got two in there, centre backs I think, sell Quansah by one, maybe two. Midfield players, this is where it gets tough. There's a few in contention, one of them being Curtis Jones. I'm going to cross the road again, it's like fucking cross the road this, isn't it? One of them being Curtis Jones, one of them being Harvey Elliott. And I'm going to go with the latter. I think Harvey Elliott should go for the money. Now, a lot of people disagree with my valuation of Harvey Elliott. I put a price tag on him at £35 million. A lot of people, and by that I mean, I'd be happy to take, maybe not happy, I would understand if a bid came in for £35 million and we took it. That's what I mean by that. It's getting a bit windy, isn't it? I didn't really think of this. I might try walking, no, be right. I think you get more for Elliott than Jones, firstly, so that's probably why I'd sell him. But I just think in terms of his involvement with the squad, next year it's going to be, I'm off this way, it's too windy, it's going to be too limited. Jones was getting more minutes than Elliott in this season that's just gone, albeit Elliott was injured for a significant period of time. I just think Arne Slot prefers Curtis Jones. I don't think he's particularly gotten on with Elliott. Not personally, I mean like as a player, in terms of fitting in his system, I don't think it particularly works. I think Jones adds a bit more to the dynamic of the team, a bit more explosive, I think, Jones, and he's just better on the ball. He protects the ball. When we need to chill a game out, Jones can come on and do that, and I think he offers more to the side. Taking nothing away from the talent that is Harvey Elliott. Like, he's one of the brightest, or he has been one of the brightest English players for the last 4 or 5 years. And he's, 22? He's got so much to offer. He's so accomplished and complete, which is why I think it's fair to put a £35 million valuation on the guy. I'm going to go and set this bench over here. This looks chilled out. I think that's entirely fair. Some people will argue the other way and say, well, hold on, that's actually too much for Elliott. And I also see that perspective, because you're asking for £35 million for a player who's not played this season, who's got little to no output, let's be real. I mean, Elliott scored some important goals for us. I look at the Crystal Palace goal more than any other. He scored some important goals at good times. But in terms of scoring 10, 50, he's never had that, Elliott, and that's probably his biggest downfall, or the stick people beat him with the most. But I actually think fairly. I think fairly you should be scoring a few more goals than you are, or maybe creating a few. I really do think that of Elliott, and I think at times he's a bit protected because he's that English player, and he's been at the club for years, and the fans tend to like him, don't they? And a lot of rival fans don't. I think that's a key part as well. It's like, yeah, well, he's like our player, isn't he? Although he's not obviously a Scouser like Curtis Jones, we do see him as our player, and the fans do rate him as a person, as an asset. I just think Jones offers more. I'm off £35 million for Harvey Elliott. Let me know your thoughts. Is that controversial? Could you get more, less? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm really interested in that. I'll go 35 for Elliott, which was it 52 for them two combined? 35 for Elliott, which is 87. We're on £87 million, and we've got 2 more signings to go. This has to equate to, quick maths, 65 million, no, 87, 70, about 70 million quid, let's just say, to round off. And I think it does. I think these two players do. And it's not Luis Diaz. If you know me, not many people do. 3 people know me, and if you're one of them 3 people, you know he's my favourite player in the squad. There is no way Luis Diaz is leaving this side as far as I'm concerned. But I will be unbiased and take my Diaz hat off, my Colombian Vuvuzela's the thing you blow into, isn't it? What's the hat they wear? That's Mexicans. Ignore that. I will take my Diaz hat off and I'll say, yeah, he's at times lacked a bit of output this season. Around the middle of the season, he went a bit shy and Salah luckily stepped up. But I do think on the whole, he's come out of the season looking good. He's asked, 3rd top scorer? I think he has stepped up at times when needed. Man City, I think Diaz is very underrated. I think he gets a lot of flack because maybe Yeri loses the ball more than Gakpo, but he also tries more than Gakpo, and he also tries generally. Like, Diaz is such a worker, and I could never. I think there's so much value in just trying. And I know it sounds daft being a professional footballer. You're on 100 grand a week. You're trying. It's like the bare minimum. I get that, But when you look around the Premier League now and you look at players walking back, I look at Man United, I look at some players at, I mean, it's literally Man United, but I think, my God, imagine if Diaz, even if he had a bad game, Diaz, I could never say he didn't try, he didn't run. He's always had that, and I've never seen him give less than 100%. And maybe it sounds like a stupid thing to say, given he's a professional footballer, but I think at times you look at Salah at times, like 4 or 5 years ago, he'd get frustrated, wouldn't he? Salah, I lost the ball, frustrated. Maybe he wouldn't run back. Trent, certainly. Let's just maybe ignore Salah, because that's a bad example. Let's talk about Trent against Man United, specifically last year. Just walking back, like dawdling back. Trent's never had that 100% effort that I'm going to run Diaz runs to the left-back slot to go and win the ball back. He runs to the far right of the pitch to win the ball back. He's such a runner and a worker. I can never lose that. That was about a 2-minute rant about how I love Diaz, Diaz and his running. But the player I would sell is Nunez, and I'm going to go for the double whammy. Nunez and Jota. They're the 2 players I would sell. Admittedly, there's interest from Bayern Munich around Gakpo. I can't see Gakpo going, I'll be honest with you. Neither can I see Diaz going. I think Chiesa as well. Obviously, we've not signed him, so it's not like a sell. And then I can't really put him in here. But I do think Chiesa will depart and go back or go to another Italian side. So I think we need another right winger. We need certainly another striker, for me 2 strikers, but the left wing slot is fine in my opinion. It's just Nunez who hasn't been pulling his weight. Jota, who this season uncharacteristically has not been pulling his weight, and this is where you get murky waters with a valuation of Diogo Jota. How much can you put on this guy? 35 million, 40 million? I truly believe as a finisher, as a poacher, as a striker asset, he's worth 45-50 million pounds, Jota. In this day and age, absolutely, but he's not fit. When he is fit, he's not playing very well. He's not played very well this season. I think he started well. Obviously, got off the mark against, I want to say Ipswich, and I want to say Palace. My mindset, that little pass into the box from Gakpo. Was that Jota on the end of that? I think it might have been. He got off the mark well, but when he was playing, it wasn't going well, and he wasn't playing. So it's like, what do you judge him on? And Nunez, cut our losses. I don't want to talk. I'm bored of talking about Darwin Nunez online. I'm sick of it. Cut our losses on this player. He's not good enough. He's not given enough. He's not given anywhere near an 80 million, 75 million pound valuation of what we bought him for. Cut our losses. People saying keep him. People saying keep him, put him on loan. Put him in the shop window. Get people to buy him next year, like maybe Man United have done with Anthony. I don't see it at all. Cut our losses. This is a massive rebuild we're going through now. Not only do we need the funds now, we've got a new manager, and he's literally wiping the slate clean. We're seeing possibly 5-6 players leaving him and 5 coming in. Nunez can join them players and be part of this rebuild and start completely afresh. If we loan Nunez out, for example, I don't think many people would take him, by the way, on a loan certainly, you're going to bring him back, and at the risk of it not working. Is that the risk worth taking? I don't know. Would Benfica take £30 million for a player they sold for 80 million in the first place? I don't know. I think possibly. Teams like Atletico Madrid, Napoli linked as well. I could see him absolutely fitting in with them, that crowd. Certainly Atletico Madrid. But I think we've got to cut our losses now in Nunez, and that's what, let's just say £35 million. I think you could get more if a Saudi team get more involved. You're looking at about 80. I have no idea what this league are doing, but let's say around 30. Between the two, Nunez and Jota, I think £65 million, 30 and 35, either or. Maybe 70 million between, let's say 70 in fact, because the decent players, certainly Jota, that's 70 plus your 87 we've already accumulated. That's about £157, £150 million, give or take. That's where I'd get the money from. Let me know your thoughts down below. I feel like I will get better at this whole YouTube thing and not kind of waffle when I didn't need to at times. But it's new for me. I'm working on this kind of outdoor setting and the new mic and the camera. So if you enjoy this video, or if you have enjoyed, leave a like down below. It really goes far. This is kind of a full-time job now, so it does go far if you could support the video. And anyway, subscribe as well if you're interested. I'm going to try and get these out daily, sub-daily, whatever you want to call it, if I can be asked. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.